I do not have control.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to wherever you are in the world today. Zach back here, and I hope you're all doing alright. Before I even go on, actually, I'm always get a little bit worried to say in the start of these videos. Like, from like trial and error and practice, I've tried various different ways to try and do like a big introduction to the video. Like, I could just come out of this room here and go, but obviously I'm not a TikTok dancer, and I don't try and use TikTok to gain likes, followers and engagement. I could just do what I've tried before with the whole Matthew McConaughey, alright. But again, I could do that, but sometimes it doesn't efficiently work. So obviously I've just tried lots of different things in the past, and sometimes I find what I just said there works very well. So there, that's my introduction for you. Anyways guys, I hope you're all doing good, and welcome again to the Zach King Fitness Academy studio with yours truly, Zach King. Now, what we're going to talk about today, guys, and welcome to another video actually of another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about, should I cut carbohydrates from my diet or for fat loss? But before we go into the whys and why nots of cutting carbohydrates for fat loss, please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe or that lovely notification bell for all of my future content to hopefully help you get educated, motivated and empowered to help you reach your health and fitness goals, whatever they may be. Right, anyhow, so let me just give you a little bit of a background about why I'm talking about this. Now, this is something that I get asked a lot of questions to, about, you know, should I cut carbs from my diet? Should I cut carbs for fat loss? And the answer to that question is really yes and no. Is really yes and no to that question. And I'm going to go into detail on each one and stuff. So I'm going to go into details about why you should and why you shouldn't cut carbohydrates from your fat loss or for your fat loss goals. Now, for somebody that's both done a photo shoot on a low carbohydrate diet, I think the most amount of carbs I had for my photo shoot was literally the day before my photo shoot, where my good friend Tom literally fed me a big bowl of pasta whilst we were watching the football and stuff, and actually got me looking in better shape and stuff, so which I'll go through in a little wee bit when I go through the shouldn't parts. But also I went through a high carb stage for about 4 weeks in the first lockdown here in the UK, and you know, I felt I got some really good results out of it. I was nowhere near the shape I was from my photo shoot and stuff, but again, that was a longer period. I had done this as like a 4-week stint because, you know, here in the UK when we had our first lockdown, I literally didn't have much equipment as much as I do now. So I was relying solely on body weight, solely onto my zoo workouts, which again, I'm going to go through with you in another video at some point in the future about why you should be doing zoo workouts and then going through the basics of what they are. So now let's get an understanding also about why people demonize carbs and why people think that carbohydrates is the cause for the worldwide obesity. Now, I'm going to be upfront and very frank with you. I'm going to be very upfront and honest with you here. Let me get close to the camera so I can tell you. Carbohydrates is not the reason why you are dropping body fat. It's the amount of calories that you're putting into your body that's making you gain body fat. Some of you might have heard this before. A lot of you might have heard this before. Everyone might have heard this before. Everyone's heard calorie fucking deficit this, calorie, you know, deficit that. Neat up 24/7 this, you know, this, that and the other. But it doesn't stop the misinformation that gets spread around by people who like to think carbohydrates are the sole reason why we're in a obesity, where the world is becoming obese and stuff. And this is what I want to kind of demystify. And like me personally, I think one of the reasons why people demonize carbohydrates is because of the fact that it's pretty much everywhere. Now, if you're here in the UK, we have our own petrol stations, but in the US, obviously you've got your gas stations. But if you go into your local petrol station, what's the first thing you see? Sandwiches. Well, basically, when you walk into the door, usually you either see sandwiches right in front of you, or if you go up to the kiosk or the cash point, you see bars and rows of chocolate bars and high carb snacks at our disposal. But why is that? Well, I like to think of it as that we see something and it initially tells our brain that we're hungry for it, but actually we're not. We might just be thirsty. Even if we go for like drinks and stuff, like calorie-based drinks, like I'm a big fan of Lucozade Sport. Or if you're in the US, you might just have your normal Lucozade or energy drinks and stuff. Again, they're going to be quite carbohydrate based. So there are quite a lot of carbohydrate based foods in that, and it's not the carbohydrates themselves, it's the fact that the calories you're eating is going to be what makes you put on body fat. And how easy is it to go to when you've been on a long day, when you've had a long day at work and you're driving to get some petrol in your car and you just want a little bit of a snack, you want a little bit of food in you, and then you end up getting the big bar of dairy milk or packet crisps, or literally combine them together, or you just end up getting sandwiches, chocolate, an energy drink or a Coke, or a pack of crisps or sandwiches and stuff like that. It's not the carbohydrates that's making you put on body fat, it's those calories combined together that's making you put on body fat. So always remember that. That's the thing I want you to remember first off, that it's not carbohydrates, it's what's making you put body fat on. It's the amount of calories that you're putting into your body for it. Now I've gone through that quick introduction, let's actually talk about the whys and why nots about cutting out carbs. Again, somebody for a long time, I was a big low carb advocate, or I thought carbs were the reason why we can drop body fat. But again, being educated on it, learning out of it over a long period of time, I understood that it was all to do with an energy balance, which is basically another word for calorie deficit. And if you don't know what calorie deficit is, think of it as like your bank balance and stuff. So if you were to expend, which is moving, and earning through food, if you earn more than you spend, you're going to put on more body fat. But if you spend more than you earn, you're going to be in a calorie deficit. That's the most simplistic way I can put it down for you guys. So, but again, I'm going to get some more people, some more nutritionists to talk about this in the near future, to get hard down, to get you guys more educated on that. So hopefully we can educated on all things that is nutrition, training and mindset. Okay, let's talk about why you should cut carbs for fat loss. I'm going to give you two reasons, and I only need two reasons because there's only two reasons. One, if you're looking for a fast fat loss or weight loss, yeah, potentially cut your carbohydrates out, cut your carbohydrates down. But again, it's not the carbohydrates that's making a difference, it's the reduction of water you're having into your body. Let me throw a little fact for you. Let me throw a little fact out for you. For every 1 gram of carbohydrate, it's 3 grams of water. So if you were to hear these celebrities that would be in a low carb diet, for a movie, they have to have a low carb diet, because if you look at people like Hugh Jackman from the brilliant 2017 film Logan, or 2016-2017 film Logan, probably one of the best, my opinion, Marvel films they have ever made, by one of the best actors to have come into the Marvel Comics history. He even admitted himself he had to dehydrate and cut down his carbohydrate content to get his abs looking absolutely shriveled, to strip away the water, because he would be carrying excess water. He'd be having extra water retention. And if you look at Hugh Jackman in the film Logan, he looks in incredible shape. But it's again because he created a calorie deficit by reducing, I'm doing the Ross from Friends here, reducing the amount of carbohydrates he was having. So it was not the carbohydrates themselves that was the cause of him dropping body fat. It was the fact that he was dropping water, dehydrating, but also he created a calorie deficit by doing that. And that's what I done for my photo shoot 4 years ago here, in this time of 2021. So remember, it's not. So again, if you're looking for fast fat loss, to get bikini body ready, to get ripped, shredded, feeling sexy, getting motivated and things like that, yeah, possibly do it. Possibly go and do it. That way, you're going to probably drop body fat fast a lot quicker when you start reducing your carbohydrates down. And again, you're stripping away water weight. Last reason, and reason number 2. By cutting or removing all of your carbohydrates, all you're going to be doing there, guys, is very simply removing a macronutrient. Now, I'm going to tell you some facts here as well. For every 1 gram of carbohydrate equals to 4 calories. For every 1 gram of protein equals to 4 calories. And for every 1 gram of fat equals to 9 calories. That's why if you look at, say, a packet of nuts or a packet of mixed nuts and stuff, you'll see they're quite calorific. It's because for every 1 gram of an avocado, a nut, or anything like that, is going to equal to 9 calories in total. But we're not here to talk about fats, we're here to talk about carbohydrates. So, if you were to be going in a low or no carb, or if you're a ketogenic person, which, you know what, I'm not going to go into the debate about keto people, because there'd be an argument that, you know, I'm not in the mood for arguing with, so. Alright, so let's what was I going on about? Yes, cutting out, removing carbohydrates. So if you were to cut down or remove carbohydrates, all you're doing there, guys, is removing 1 macronutrient. So again, by doing that, you're already creating a calorie deficit. You're already creating a greater deficit within your nutrition by simply removing a load of macronutrients in it. And then again, you know, by eliminating certain foods, it's going to make it easier for you probably to lose body fat, because you're not going to be tempted by those foods. I mean, here's a little tip for you. Every time you go into the kitchen cupboards, I want you to write down on a piece of paper. I just want you to write down on a piece of paper. Get a pen and paper next to where the kitchen cupboard is. Even literally stick it with some blue tack on the kitchen cupboard. And every time you go into the kitchen cupboard for a week, again, write down Monday, or even a course of a week, put a cross on how many times you go to the kitchen cupboard. See how many times you got on there. And once you've done that, the next week, simply reduce it. So that's what I probably would say to you. But again, remember, by cutting down or removing a carbohydrate, all you're doing is removing a macronutrient, which is then going to elicit a faster fat loss, though an unsustainable fat loss. Always remember that. Always remember that. What might be fast may never be sustainable. Will never be sustainable for your fat loss. So, let's recap on what I just said about why you should remove carbohydrates in your nutrition. 1, again, it will probably elicit a faster fat loss because, again, you're reducing the amount of water in your body. 2, you're removing carbohydrates because you'll elicit a greater fat loss by simply removing a set number of calories altogether and eliminating certain foods to avoid you getting there. But what you got to remember, guys, is things like fruit, things like vegetables are all carbohydrate based. Not to a great deal as like breads and that, but you got to remember, vegetables, fruit, and even some plant-based proteins are high in carbohydrate based. But again, they've got good quality nutrients, which we're going to go through in this next bit. So, that's 16 minutes in of me talking about that. What we're going to talk about now, this hopefully shouldn't take too much longer, shouldn't take too long. I'm going to be giving you 4 reasons why you should not be fearful of carbohydrates and 4 reasons why, with it, why you shouldn't remove carbohydrates from your nutrition. First reason, exercise performance makes you work harder in your workouts. So if your body is fueled with carbohydrates, you're going to be able to lift heavier, lift stronger, lift heavier, run faster, work out harder, and move a lot more. And again, that's the whole purpose of ourselves, isn't it? You know, when we do work out, we work out to feel great about ourselves, to improve our mental health, feel fit, feel strong, walk around with our chest tall and like that. And that's why you should, and that's why I'm quite passionate when I say this. That's why you shouldn't cut out carbohydrates in your nutrition. Why you shouldn't? Because again, if you're working harder, whether it's a home workout or in the gym and stuff like that, you're going to feel a lot more better to know you've hit your PB, deadlift, hip thrust and anything like that in the gym. But also to know that you've run a half marathon in your fastest time, and you can't do that on a low carb diet. So bear that in mind, guys. When you're looking for exercise performance, carbohydrates is an absolute key. Carbohydrates is the main macronutrient the body uses for fuel, for energy. So use it when you go and train and you work out. When I was on a high carb diet for 4 weeks during the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, when we were in first lockdown, I think it was the end of March throughout April, May and that, I went for 4 weeks of high carb. That was also fueling me to build a pergola, or a pergola, whatever they're called, for my mum, and plus doing a couple classes in that. And again, it helped me fuel for those workouts. And if I was on a low carb diet, I would not be able to do that because I wouldn't have the energy. So bear in that mind. So when you are doing lots of activities, you're using that carbohydrates as fuel. So bear that in mind. Reason number 2 of why you shouldn't cut carbohydrates from your diet. You'll be depriving yourself of certain vitamins and minerals, and or you'll be bringing yourself to nutritional deficiency. Like I said earlier, vegetables, fruit, some plant-based proteins, or a lot of plant-based proteins in that fact, are carbohydrate based. And what you're going to be doing, you're going to be basically eliminating certain vitamins and minerals that we can't get from putting butter in our coffee, or just eating an avocado and things like that. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what a effing ketogenic diet would look like. Now I think about it, it's like I can't think of nothing more boring. Anyways, I'm getting a bit sidetracked. So that's what I would say to you guys, is that You don't want to be eliminating carbohydrates because you don't want to be giving yourself a nutritional deficiency. So you don't want to be giving yourself nutritional deficiency. And that is why you should be including things like fruit, vegetables, you know, some plant-based foods, some lean protein, plenty of carbs in your, with some fats and that lot in your nutrition. You should always get the best of all the macronutrients involved in you. And that's what you should probably be looking at, is looking at your plate, is right, here's my carbohydrates, that's going to fuel me, then I've got my proteins in my veg. And then your fats will obviously come in various different other food sources as well. Reason number 3, you should be having carbs in your nutrition. Fibre. Now rarely carbohydrates is very black and white, very rarely, not carbohydrates, nutrition is very black and white. Nutrition is very rarely a black and white topic, but every nutritionist, every health coach, including myself, will always say that fibre is the cornerstone to every nutritional lifestyle or every diet. So important, fibre. So important. You've got to remember is that when you get fibre into your system, you're going to be managing your weight better, you're going to be feeling fuller, you're going to be improving your heart health, but also you're going to be helping with your digestive system. So you're going to be improving your gut health or improving your digestive system. So that's what I probably would say, is really focus and hone in on the fibre part. And reason number 4 why you should be having carbs in your nutrition is you're going to probably live longer. Hey, that's true. And now if you look at the blue zones in the world, basically the countries that live the longest, the countries that live the longest actually have a higher amount of carbohydrates in per population. Like if you look at some regions of Japan, some of the population there live till they're about 100 from eating good, healthy carbohydrates, from eating good sources of starchy carbs like rice, pasta and things like that. Even if you go across to other islands of Greece, they're living way above 90. Again, eating from starchy carbs, starchy carbohydrates, like bread as well. They live potatoes. They're having all of that. Do you see them moan about low carbs? No, because they live there. Some grandparents are living longer to see their grandchildren grow up, to see their great-great-grandchildren. Some parents are living longer to see their children become, you know, parents. And as a older brother, I'd love to see my brother and sister, less than my sister because I'm quite protective like that, to have their own kids and stuff like that. And I'm going to live as long as possible to see them and that, so I can be there as like a guiding beacon. So always remember that. Always remember that. So, to wrap things up then, because I've waffled on for you guys. So, the 4 reasons why you should be having carbohydrates in your nutrition. Number 1, exercise performance. Again, carbohydrates is the main fuel source in the body. We have to use it to really utilise our energy for workouts, to work harder, lift heavier and things like that. Reason number 2, vitamin or nutritional deficiency. Remember, apples, vegetables, some plant-based proteins are quite carbohydrate based. You're not going to neglect those in your nutrition, aren't you? So make sure you get longer, feel fuller, feel more energized and stuff. Number 3, fibre. Again, what we spoke about earlier, it's going to be better for your digestive tract, it's going to be better for your weight management, better for your heart health, things like that. And number 4, it's going to make you live longer. It's going to make you live longer. Just look at the countries. Again, you can type it in. Blue zone countries. Which countries in the world are living longest? You'll thank me later. And you know what? I'm going to throw in a fifth one for you. I was planning to, so I'm going to throw it in. The fifth reason and last reason why you should be having carbohydrates in your nutrition is you're going to be able to sustain a healthier, longer, more happier lifestyle by having carbohydrates in your diet than having no carbohydrates in your diet. It's going to be sustainable. You're going to be dropping body fat slower, but you're going to be dropping it more consistently, and to the point you want to get down to the point where you want to maintain your weight. But also, carbohydrates are so tasty. I mean, who doesn't love a bit of cake? Like, if I was to tell you, you could have carbohydrates, you could have cake and lose weight, would you do it? Of course you bloody would. Of course you would. So that's what I'm saying, is you can have carbohydrates in your nutrition and still lose body fat, drop body fat. It's all about portion control. And I want to throw this to you guys. And I'm going to quote a very famous former Golden Globe host, Ricky Gervais. Now, Ricky Gervais done one of his stand-ups a while ago where he said there was a woman on the British telly who ate nothing but 10 burgers and fries a day. That will do it. So, she didn't like to exercise. She didn't like to eat salads or fibre and things like that. So she had to go to get some surgery to staple it all in and stuff. I don't think that's a very sustainable way of losing body fat and stuff, or sustainable way of living a healthier life, you know. And Ricky Gervais put this out. So you don't like running or walking to get your McDonald's and that lot, fine, that's fine. You don't like to eat salads, okay, fair enough. Why not cut down from 10 burger fries a day to 9 burgers and fries a day? Cut down your portion sizes. That's what you got to think about, guys. And I'll leave that with you there as well. So, that fifth reason is you're going to be able to live a healthier, happier, fuller lifestyle by eating carbohydrates in your nutrition. And again, it's going to help you enjoy those little things that having low carb diets would deprive us of. Again, just manage your portion sizes. If you are looking to look to drop body fat, just look at your portion sizes. Like I said to you earlier, tally the amount of times you dip into your kitchen cupboard, reach out for a biscuit and eat and put it into your mouth. Tally that up, and the amount of times you've done it in that week, drop it down by 2. Do it 2 times in that, or spread it out over the course of a day. And again, you'll thank me later on that. Anyways, guys, that is me wrapped up. That is me done. That is me with my waffling done for the day. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video. I really do hope you found it very useful. Hope you found it very informative and stuff. Again, if you'd like to view any more of my content, just simply again hit that like, subscribe, or that beautiful notification bell for future of my content, so then you can be the first to watch it and then hopefully share and spread the non-bullshit that sometimes gets derived around in the fitness industry or nutrition industry. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate you watching. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys later on. All the best, God bless, ciao now.